Game of Endless Frontiers. Folks, we've got some good stuff to show you today. Let's hop on down into the game. Check this out. I hope everybody is feeling fantastic today. I know I am. So first things first, let's get something out of the way. Number one, I had to update the pack. I mean, I didn't have to. Everything was going smoothly for me, but one of the posts on my YouTube video was from the community member that made this mod pack from the official servers. They said that they post updates pretty regularly, so I was like, oh, well, you know what, we'll check it out. I looked through the version histories, and so there were several updates to the pack. I was actually 10 versions behind where I currently was, so I went ahead and gave it the full update. And I've been looking at all of the different things that got included, added, you know, all that stuff. First things first, they ended up removing the Midnight, which, you know, I feel good that we kind of got to explore that mod beforehand. And I also don't think I'm really going to miss it, because it was cool. It definitely had like a lot of atmosphere to it, but it just feels like it's incomplete, you know, like it's not done yet. Because I know there's a lot of potential there, so I feel like the mod author probably will want to add more stuff to that, and then maybe we'll have to check it out again. They do have like a copy or a repost of roguelike dungeons that somebody made, or inspired by, you know, it's very similar to that mod, but not a direct copy. So I want to find one of those at some point and check it out. I think I might have found one in my world, so we'll have to look at where that is and how we'll want to get there. Some other mods got removed and changed. Nothing too drastic, but like I lost my strawberries, you can see here, down in my little field, so I had to replant some wheat to go along with the blackberries. And I don't like that all crops are shown as wheat, regardless of whether or not they are. But that's apparently something that the mod author is currently struggling with, actually, because the pack creator, not mod author, the pack creator, he actually went back and forth and tried out different mods that display information like that, like the One Probe and Hyla. I think he went back and forth between those, and couldn't get it to not display that way. So it's just, I guess, a bug in the pack or the mod or the API or something like that. Something's causing this interaction where all crops are displayed as wheat seeds, even if they are clearly not. Except wheat. Wheat's totally being shown as wheat. Yeah, so there's that. So the other thing that I want to get out of the way, I want to do a little tour, right? Because I finished the house, I feel. Now, I went some bold strokes here, because the main thing that I had to decide was what color was I going to replace all the spruce with, because everything else I had pretty much made the choice on how to replace it. So I did. I went with this one right here, from Biomes of Plenty. I'm not saying the name on purpose, because, you know, how those things work, right? Anything that even sounds like something might hurt you in the long run. So yeah, I'm displaying the name openly so anybody else can read it. But yeah, so it's kind of a bold contrast, right? But it still has that kind of, even though it's like really dark, it has that faded look to it that like the cherry wood does and also the fir does, that I feel like kind of matches the build style, even if it is like a drastic change in the color. And then I also modified the roof a little bit. So there was like some hard drops like right here, and I felt like having it a little bit more sloped was a bit nicer. I didn't want to bring it up to a full point, so I kept the flat roof that it had before, but I replaced all this up here with fir planks. This was oak. I was trying to find something that I could replace the oak with as well, but I ultimately just ended up incorporating a little bit more fir wood into the build. And then wrapping it around in this. And I think that the color contrast is really nice, especially if you zoom kind of out a little bit so you can see everything that's around it. Because in this biome, I feel like the oak leaves are a little bit paler too than they are in some of the other biomes, and that kind of helps make it blend a little bit, along with the teal kind of grass that it's got. I think it's a really good mix, right? And then let's go take a look inside. I can show you the couple of other things that got changed in here. So of course I also changed out the door. for a door made from that same material. I changed out all of this for the fir wood logs, going back and forth instead of, I think this was either spruce or dark oak, one of those. Changed the painting, I think. I definitely knocked the painting off and then tried to put it back, and so I don't know if this is the same one that it had before or if this is something that I changed it to, but here's the machine room. You can remember all of that kind of orange terracotta and also the red sandstone, so I kind of made this mix with the build as it is outside, got the black terracotta to replace the orange, and then also I just put more of the cut sandstone roof in that you can see upstairs. That was already in the build upstairs, so that wasn't something that I had to add to it. I left the plants because it's a nice splash of color to offset the kind of austere, is that the word for it? The austere interior? I don't know if that's the right word. Oh man, I just now realized that there's some orange terracotta back there behind the sugarcane that I did not replace. Well, I'll have to get to that later. I ended up going with the normal green stained glass instead of the lime that I had in here originally. I think that it's the more muted tone is really what I was going for. I really wanted that to be part of it as well, because this is supposed to be simulating like maybe glass that has algae growing in and around it. If there was some way that I could like frame it in green but have the rest of it be clear, that's actually what I would like, but I didn't see any glass like that available in the pack, so I just went with the normal green stained glass. These right here, so you see what those are called, right? That's from a mod. They're bookshelves that increase the enchanting power of your enchanting table by 2 instead of by 1. So I think with just these around here, we actually got some pretty powerful enchanting tables going. And when we do eventually get to some higher tier tools, we'll be able to enchant them stronger because the mod Apotheosis that this comes from also increases the enchanting level that's available for tools. So you can get higher than just like Fortune 3, you know, Unbreaking 3. That, like, you can get better levels and also better enchantments, but it operates the same way. Although, maybe I broke it when I was rebuilding everything. I'll have to investigate that. But I mean, like, I thought the redstone circuit was complete. I added a back porch here, so that way we can zoom in and out of our house from the back here that goes directly over to our little farm area that I've started to use and improve. And I also widened it a little bit because back here there was like 4 rows of wood, so I dropped 2 of them to have more bricks just because I felt like if I mirrored that on both sides it looked a little bit better to me. I'm a big fan of symmetry. That's one of the things that I like. And then of course this is the sort of farm room that I redid into more like a crafting space slash, you know, item manipulation area. Took out all of the dirt and the sand and replaced it with the wood trim that was going around the outside edge, also the bricks, and then mirrored the same thing on both sides that I had in here, minus like the 1 block on the edge here because this side is missing the interior block and that side is missing its interior block because it's actually the inside that forms the wall. So in order to keep the numbers even on both sides, I had to kind of just go ahead all the way to the edge with the bricks. It's not that it looks bad, I just think that like having an actual interior might have been better, but I don't want to have an even number of brick lines in here, so that's why I went with that. Kept the blue bed because sure, whatever. Color of the bed doesn't really matter that much to me. And then we'll come back here and we'll take a look at this. So, I read up on the Mystical Agriculture mod, and I've kind of started messing with it a little bit. So, apparently, you can put the essence, the Inferium essence that we've been harvesting directly into the dirt, and it turns it into this Inferium farmland, which helps with growth, and also it gives you a chance per plant that you break or harvest or whatever to get an extra Inferium seed. So, I mean, you can see the obvious benefits of that is that you'll get multiple seeds. I just got one, actually, just harvesting what's here. And then you could replant those if you wanted to do more of those. But that also works for the resource crops, like the ones that I'm holding in my inventory right now that we're about to talk about, and also all of the other ones like, you know, iron seeds and all that stuff that you can turn into a seed. Like, putting it on the level of farmland that corresponds to its crop type actually helps it to grow and gives you a chance to get seeds, so you can always grow your crop more. However, we're not going to do that. And here's why. Because one of the mods that was added when they were changing stuff over is, you know how we have those, I'm blanking on the word here. These things? Bonsai pots, yeah. So these will automatically grow trees and then drop them into chests. Well, one of the mods that was added was... Is it botany in this one? Yeah, botany pots. So these things right here. These are basically those bonsai pots, but for all kinds of other stuff. So if we look at the uses of it here, you can see that all of the mystical crops are growing there, flowers are growing there, potatoes, like anything essentially that would be planted on farmland, including the Botania flowers, can grow inside these things if you put them on the appropriate type of dirt that they would use. So in the case of the mystical crops, you have to use that essence farmland, but you can craft it in your inventory, so that's going to be quite nice. So now, instead of wanting this big farmland type area that I thought that we were going to need, we actually just need a place where a lot of chests can be stored. Which, you know, this place is pretty, and if nothing else, we can put like a good garden in here after we get done, you know, finishing out the roof and walls with something that's a little bit less bold, I guess. Like, bricks are a strong texture. They really evoke a certain style of build, and that's not really what I'm going for. So I was already planning on tearing all of that out anyways, but since we don't need the structure, I might just actually take the whole thing down. I haven't decided on that yet. But that's why I built this warehouse here. I'm hoping, because I looked at this in the creative test world that I have for this pack, and it seems to give us the right amount of structure that I would be able to store like a lot of chests inside of it, because that's actually kind of what it's meant for. It's meant to be like, not really a storage silo necessarily, but like that type of thing. And so I think that we're going to have to pop this bad boy down and check it out. And I'm trying to find a good location for it, because I'd like it to be on a different Y level than where we're at now, because I want it. One of the things that you want to do whenever you're building anything, right, is just use the multiple levels of the terrain that's available to you, because then you'll have, like, your build will look more natural and more varied. So I don't want everything on the same Y level, because this wasn't naturally flat ground. So I think I'm going to come up here. Yeah, this will be good, I think. So let's sit down here and we're going to preview it, right? So it does, the structure itself has a lower level, like a basement level, a main floor, and then an upper tier floor. And the upper tier floor is kind of empty. It's sort of blank. There's actually like an upgraded version of this that comes with an area for like enchanting and also brewing potions and growing netherrack and stuff. But I'm not interested in that. Like, we can do that on our own, or we can do it through Project E. So I don't really need that to be a thing. So I think that maybe we'll back it up one more space so that we can use a little bit more of this natural ground terrain. But then, yeah, we're going to pop it here and see how that looks for us. So I think there, although it offset it, did it do that on purpose? Oh, there's two doors, that's why, okay. So let's look at the chunk boundaries, because that's one thing. It's really good if you can to have something hit the edge of a chunk boundary, so that way as much of it is included inside of that area as possibly can be. Because that helps with like loading things and keeping it all together within one area. And I think that actually has us pretty solidly on one. We might need to back it up like one more space, but then I'm pretty sure we'll be almost entirely within a single chunk. So let's back it up one more. Oh, but one more over. Preview. There we go. I think that... Oh, one more. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Is that it? Yes. So that was this one. One more click, just so I can make sure. It's 2 over from the tree. Yes. Okay. So let's do this. I'm nervous. I'm making sure I have it. Okay. All right, let's build it. All right. Now, clearly we're going to have to remove some stuff that butts right up against the edge. Tear out some of this blue leaves. And then also probably take down the remnants of this tree. We might leave that one just to have something that butts right up against it. Because that actually, with what we're trying to do, that'll help us to simulate that the nature is taking back over, like it's going right up against the tree. That'll actually make it blend in a little bit more with this one, I think. But look at this. So obviously this is a lot of storage, and with the way that the chest mechanics work now in the later versions of Minecraft, we could actually separate these into single chests, or we could put in a bunch of iron chests or something like that that have the singular storage, and we could space them out like one here, one there, one here, one there, and we could have the pots hooked into it, which is definitely what I'm interested in. But yeah, so this is the upper floor, or the middle floor. This is the starter floor. Then there's the downstairs, which has this sort of, I guess, flower growing area. Maybe we'll put our Botania stuff down here if we decide to get into that mod, since it'll have a water source for us to be scooping into our pot to help us make the flowers that are actually usable, that do stuff for us. Because we have to keep refilling that, what's it called, that chalice? If you've ever played the mod before, you know what I'm talking about. It's where you make all of the functional flowers. I can't remember what the actual item is called, but yeah, we'll probably do some of that downstairs, tear out the furnaces because we won't need them here. And then if we go upstairs, it's pretty much blank. Because like I said, there's an upgraded version of this that has all of this being a brewing area slash I think an enchanting area, or maybe it has anvils or something into it, but I wasn't interested in that. Like I would rather have the empty space for putting in the chests and stuff, more of it like downstairs. So yeah, I think this will work out. We can also do some more of that terraforming like we did on that house there. We can take out some of the oak and put in well, I actually don't think it has any oak inside of it, right? Yeah, that's all stone. But we can replace some of the bricks with cracked bricks and maybe put some mossy cobblestone into it to help it look a little bit older and more worn. And then also, of course, like I said, we're going to take out some of these trees, but we'll leave some of them because we definitely want it to look like it's built in, like it's been there for a while. But yeah, so that's the other thing that we need to do, is clean that up. We're giving ourselves another project now that we found out that we don't actually need this place over here. But that's the way it happens. I mean, like, that's actually the problem with updating packs in the middle of any kind of a series that you're doing, is that you might find out that in upgrading, like, something got removed or changed or added that just makes whatever your current plan was a little bit less of a needed thing. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's dump this stuff in here, since I don't need it. And we'll put these in there, since they don't have an equivalent. And then we'll put this away in our backpack, because I don't need it anymore. Oh, that's the other thing that got changed. The second backpack mod, Simply Backpacks, I think is what it was called. That one got removed. So now I just built 2 of these large backpacks from the Useful Backpacks mod. The one functionality that I really miss is that it used to be with Simply Backpacks that I could just press a key on my keyboard and it would open the backpack. And unfortunately, that is not there. Useful Backpacks does not have anything like that, which is kind of unfortunate. But it is what it is. So we'll take this over there with us for now. This is my Silky. Masiki. I really need to rename the tools. Take a couple levels and just make that happen. And then we'll just go ahead and plant this stuff if we can. I think that we'll be able to make everything over there no problem. Because I've even got some essence on me, right? Yeah. I'll take what I have in the system as well. Because we're going to need to make the farmland. Give me all of that. Remove from thyself. And we'll sleep real quick. Alright. And then, what do we have? I know that we have iron chests, but what else do we have here? Is there any kind of like abnormally large chest that we could have that would like blend in some? I don't think we would find anything better than like a diamond chest for single item storage. Because these are pretty big. I mean, these chests are huge. So I think we'll make up one of those real quick and get the system to memorize it before we get too far away. So, iron chest. That's the first one. Made with just any old chest, which apparently I don't have any of in the system, so let's just put a few in there. Get ourselves an iron chest. And then gold would be the next one, right? And then diamond. Oh, we don't have any glass in there either. Well, we'll need this item then. Give me like a stack of glass. Boop. And then we'll just finish out that recipe for it. Boop. We got ourselves a diamond chest. I think the higher, like the crystal and the obsidian are the same, they just look different. I don't know how I feel about that color. I'm pretty sure the obsidian chests are just like blast-resistant diamond chests. That black might fit in a little bit better. Crystal chests look cool, but I think they cause a little bit of lag. And even though I'm playing by myself, that's something that I'll kind of want to avoid. But we'll go ahead and do that if we can. Well, whatever. I'll take the diamond chest with me, and if I want to make it obsidian, then I will. The botany pots, I've already told the system how to make, so I'm not worried about those. Or the Project E thing. The transmutation table. Yeah, the systems already know how to make those. So let's set... And of course, I didn't grab it. You all coming with me? Of course, you know I'm listening to that techno axe. You know I am. In case you're wondering where this music's coming from. So let's set this down. Teach it diamond chest and then pull that back out, and then we'll look at it for now. I mean, like, whatever, let's pull out another one and we'll make one, and then we'll make our decision from there. So, boop, that, and then encase it in obsidian, and that gives us the obsidian chest, and then we'll put that down too, and we'll look at it side by side. What do we think? I do not like that texture on that obsidian chest. I mean, like, it looks like obsidian. I can't say that the author of the mod is doing a bad job mimicking it, but ugh. They are the same size though. Yeah, I thought that the darker color would go better for me, but now that I'm sitting here staring at it, I don't think that would be a good option. Yeah, chemical chests from Project E. Are they any bigger? That's not a bad color on it. Iron, any kind of chest. some stone, and then the covalence dust. We got to try out our options. So let's get out some of that dust. There we go. So we'll take one of each. And then what else might we need? Stone. I think that I have all of the other stuff on me with me. So we'll go over to the system and we'll make one of those real quick. So that's where the diamonds and the iron are, because of course I'm still not teaching any of that to Project D. Although, thinking about that, I did accidentally teach it one thing. Come to find out. I was doing some villager trading, and I was, dumping items back and forth from my inventory to the villagers down there, and I accidentally threw in some emeralds. So, yep, those are actually in the table. So that's going to have to be one of the first seeds that we work to, so that I can say that, we have that in there. Because that's kind of like my, my signal for when I should put one of those materials into the table is if I'm growing it. If I can at a moment's notice go over to my farm and pick some more of the essence that will make it, then I will teach it to the transmutation table. But okay, so let's teach you the alchemical chest. And let's take a look at it. I know that I don't like this obsidian one, so between the two, I'm already not looking at that one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 12 by 9, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 by 8. So I think that's the same, right? 12 by 9, but one more row. I think that's pretty close. Maybe this is losing out a little bit. I'm not doing that math on the fly. I'm really bad at it. But yeah, so this has like kind of a mystical look to it with the logo on the top. And then also that color I like with the gray. It's different gray and hard black outline. Kind of works better with what's going on here, I think, than the diamond does. The diamond is just very, very bright. It's very, very bright. And the glowstone, we're going to replace those with sea lanterns, just like we did over in the other house, because we want it to be a little bit more natural and blend in a little bit better for us. Yeah, I think the alchemical chest is going to be our better option. So let's look at getting out one of those botany pots. We went ahead and got the hopping one ready. And we're going to need 5 of these total for the inferium seeds, and then also for the tier 1 crops that we've made. So we'll go ahead and get all of those out. And then let's look at what it takes to make the dirt. Farm. There we go. So the inferium farmland is probably, that's all we can make now because we haven't upgraded any of our essence, right? So that's going to be dirt, some kind of a hoe, and the inferium essence will give us the inferium farmland that we can put inside of the pots. So we'll need some dirt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll need a hoe, which I'm kind of hoping this matic will work out for it. And then we'll need to actually craft it. So let's grab that, put that in, and then put, oh yeah, look at that, inferium farmland. Boom. And then we'll let that regenerate inside of our inventory. And then let's take this out, and we'll pop it back in, and then we'll pull out 4 more of these for the different crops that we're putting down. So we'll put one there, and then we can do like a second row up here, or we can just go over to the other side. I mean, like, honestly, there's no reason for us not to fully use the area, especially since we can fly, right? So we'll go ahead and do that and see if this will work out. And then we'll put down a pot, boom, just like that. And then we will put in the farmland. Yep, you can actually see it gets rendered there. which is the thing that I really like about both this and the bonsai pots mod, is that everything that happens in them is rendered, right? So that's really cool. So then we're going to do the Inferium seeds up here. And look, you can see the crop growing. And then, of course, looking up top at Hyla, or the One Probe, whichever one this actually is, right, you can see how long it's going to grow, the progress of it growing. You can also see what mod this is from, and also the crop name and the soil. So, yeah, I mean, like, it gives you a lot of the correct information. And then I want to say that with the Inferium seeds, it is a... Let me see if I can right-click it here and find the correct one. With the Inferium seeds, it's got like a 100% chance or a 75% chance of dropping the essence, and then like a 10% chance to drop another seed. Yeah, here we go. 75% chance to roll essence, 5% chance to drop seed, and then a 1% chance to drop a fertilized essence, which is what you use to make some of the stuff in the mod. You can see we got lucky on our first one. We went ahead and got an essence. So this is another thing where it becomes set and forget it. I don't have to like automate anything. I can just magically grow stuff over here. And if I want to speed it up, I can. I can use the same kind of like, I don't think bone meal works on these crops, but it does work. There is a type of bone meal in this mod that works. So I could come over here and be like, yeah, I want more of that, so blam, 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 and blast it with that bone meal that's available inside of the mod. But yeah, so we got our ice seeds, our dirt seeds, our stone seeds, and our wood seeds, which are the other tier 1 seeds. We're going to get to some of the other seeds today, so don't feel like you missed out on watching me craft those. I'll show you how it all works. But yeah, so we'll do, let's see, ice and stone here, and then dirt and wood here. Now, those are all materials that I have inside of my table, so I mean, like, really growing these is just me saying that I have completed growing all of the tier 1 crops, because the stuff that you can make out of dirt and wood and ice and stone seeds is all stuff that we already have available to us, right? Again, if I was to click on this and show you uses, and then we find, see, this is dirt, right? So this is the stuff that dirt can make. Podzol, sand, mycelium, red mushrooms, brown mushrooms, yada yada. I mean, like, there's 3 pages of stuff, right? So that's all the stuff that you can make with the dirt essence if you mix it with the other essences that are available. And every single one of these is something that we can already craft. It's just nice, you know? Like, I like having that, I have completed it. It is done, yada yada yada. That makes me feel good about what we're doing here, because we're definitely making that sort of progress. But then, we need to look at tier 2. There we go. So there's a lot of stuff in tier 2, obviously. The nature seeds, dye, nether, coal, coral, honey, pig, chicken, cow, sheep. Because, yeah, if you didn't know, you can grow, like, there's a way to collect soul essence, and then you can use it to craft the seeds, like the pig seed. Like, how do you make that, right? On the infusion altar, you have to have a soul jar that has 10 points of pig soul. And then a solium seed base, and some prudentium essence, which is the upgraded essence of what we have right now. Soul jars are crafted using this stuff. This is all stuff that you can get the materials for in the nether. Because, like, solium ingots are the solium dust, which you get from cracking some of those solium blocks in the nether. Like, I think I've showed those on stream before, like the actual blocks that we've collected. We might even have some in here. Yeah, solium ore. And then, so do I have the soul cobblestone or whatever it's called? I might have thrown all that into the system, but yeah, I mean, like, that's stuff that you can just find in the nether. And then, so let's skip the sheep, squid, fish, slime. Slime you can make on tier 2, that's interesting. Because I thought that slime was a higher tier, because it was like an offensive mob. Like, it's something that tries to attack you, but I guess among the things that try to attack you, it is kind of the dumbest. I might go ahead and make a second Inferium one and get it here, just because, like, this essence is really what we use to craft everything, so we're going to want a lot of that for sure. I might make, like, a whole side Inferium seeds, if I'm being completely honest, just because we need so much of that essence. And then I can come along every now and then and be like, oh, it's done, and then I can either make up a whole bunch of the blocks that are available, or I can just collect it and have it ready in some other storage system that will be a little bit bigger. But I have to collect it in something like this that can hold multiple different spots, because all of these crops have different things that they can drop. And right now I don't have any of the item routing set up to where I can have multiple things routed into the system. So we're just going to do this for now, and eventually we'll kind of upgrade it so that it'll be dropped into something else. I mean, we might put quantum entangled borders under every single one of these pots and just have it all automatically crafted up in the system. Like, there's lots of different stuff that we can do with it, right? But yeah, so that's tier 1. So now let's take a look at tier 2 and see what we can do with it. So we'll come over here, because this is where I think I put my infusion crystal in here, because I made up one of these. It's relevant to the mod, which basically it's just a way for you to upgrade the essence. So like, I'll just show you, right? You put it in the center, and then you put 4 of whatever tier essence around it, and then it gives you the next highest tier. So I'm going to craft 16 Prudentium here, because that's how many of that is. And this has a durability, so I mean, like, you can only do this so many times, but I mean, like, you get a lot for each craft. It costs you like a diamond and some other junk. It's not terribly expensive. And then let's go ahead and pull what I have in the dank mill out as well. I'm going to put that in just so I'm pulling out like even stacks of 64. There we go. We'll keep that last 15 in there. Bam. So there we go. That gives us quite a bit of essence to play with. So on tier 2, Mystical Flowers is going to be really good, because that lets us just make whatever Botania flowers we need. Platinum on tier 2, that's pretty useful. That's used in a lot of different things anyways. But I'd really like to see rubber. That gives us rubber essence, which we can use for nothing. Ooh, I don't think that one's actually useful or usable inside of this mod pack, even though there is rubber that's available. Okay, so let's keep looking then. Do they have... What I'd really like to see is the stuff from Industrial Foregoing, which is plastic, I think. Yeah, plastic. But it doesn't look like... How do you... Okay, so... At Industrial... I'm trying to remember how this mod starts. It starts with you crunching up trees, right? Where's the tree cruncher? Plant gatherer, animal rancher, unless the fluid extractor. Is that it? Latex. Is there latex? No, only in there. So there's nothing in the seeds. So we're gonna have to go through that one. That's fine. I'm not really worried about it. At Mist tier 2. Okay, so that gives us back to the tier 2 seeds. The mystical ones would be really good. Iridium's probably, assuming that it's actually useful inside of this mod pack. Like, what can you craft with it? Can you craft iridium? Like, why isn't it showing me the uses of the stuff? This is bothering me. Unless it is actually not useful for anything. That's how you get it. But yeah, there's right-click it and there's no uses. So I guess right now, Mystical Agriculture is showing us all the seeds that are available, even if they don't have a use for the essence currently. So let's double-check all of these, right? So this one we get, and it gives us the Mystical Flower Essence, so that's useful. Yeah, we can use that. That shows us everything that's available there. Good. Platinum. Can we actually... Yeah, we can craft that into platinum, because that's used in this pack. Saltpeter. Not used. Copper. Surely copper's used. Yeah, there's lots of different coppers in this pack. Aluminum. Yes. Sulfur. Yes. Silicon. Yeah, that gives us the silicon for refined storage that we've learned how to make. And then, of course, the turtles are going to give us, like, the turtle drops, like Scoot. Slime will give us the slime balls, and also magma creams, apparently, if you have the blaze essence as well, which is going to be a higher tier crop. But is the fish seed just like every fish? Ooh, nautilus shells too. Puffer fish. Very good, very good. Squid will, of course, give us, ooh, a heart of the sea. So if you really wanted to have a heart of the sea and you didn't want to go treasure hunting, I guess you could get it through that way. That's pretty expensive. Like, a heart of the sea is not hard to find unless you're on a server with a bunch of other people. So this one takes a lot to get it done. Let's skip over all of this stuff. Honey. Absolutely going to be usable, right? Yes, it gets you the honeycombs and the honey bottles. Coral. How does this one work? Gets you all of the different corals by combining it with the dye that's relevant. And the blocks too, that's cool. Coral is such a pretty block. Like, there's so many different varieties of it. It can be used for a lot of different decorations. And then coal, nether. Nether, that's one that we'll want for sure. That gives us netherrack, nether bricks, nether wart, soul sand. Yeah, so this is a key component to a lot of other things. And then dye and nature. Dye is also very useful because you can see all the different things that it can make, right? It's just all the 16 different dyes that you can get, except that you can make it off this one thing. So, yeah, those are usable. And then nature. So nature dye, nether, coal is obviously going to be useful. Charcoal, stone, and, you know, actual coal, obviously. We can use that with a variety of things. I'm going to skip honey for now, I think. It is useful, but I don't personally need it right now at the moment. Silicon would be useful, so that way I can stop pulling it out of the Project E thing. And then aluminum, copper, platinum for sure, and the mystical flower seeds. Although it looks like these can't be used inside of the botany pots, which is kind of weird. I guess it's because you can just grow the Botania flowers on its own inside the botany pots. Still, though, that's an odd choice for them to just be like, yeah, this seed you have to grow on your own. If you want just one seed that can do it, you have to do that yourself. Mystical flower agglomeratio. I wonder if that's supposed to be agglomeration and then it ran out of characters, or if it's actually supposed to be agglomeratio. So yeah, let's look at how this works. So let's say I want to make the nature seeds. How do you make the nature seeds on the infusion altar? You need nature. See, now I'm really thinking agglomeratio is actually what they meant, because that's less characters. Prudentium. This is potatoes, pumpkins, cactus, and sugarcane, which we have all of for sure. We'll just go ahead and make this seed, and I'll show you how it works. Because I mean, like, it's got a cool effect. It's not, if you've played a lot of modded, it's gonna look somewhat, I mean, like, I hate to say this, but, like, standard to you, how you make these seeds. But, I mean, like, it does look cool, especially if it's the first time you've ever seen anything like it. So we will need a cactus. Well, let's test if I just have all this stuff in the system, because I would like it if I did. And I don't. I have a cactus. So I'm sure that I have all the stuff. It's just probably in the table. So let's put it down. Let's get pumpkin. Have I really not found a pumpkin? I have really not found a pumpkin. I'm amazed at that. Well, let's double check our dudes over here. You don't do pumpkins, right? You sell pumpkin pie, but you don't sell pumpkins. Useless. I mean, not useless. You're very useful. I've used you numerous times. So I need a pumpkin then in order to make that one. So I'll go find that later. let's look at a different seed. Coal. I mean, like, I know I have coal. So we'll pull out 4 of that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got the Prudentium Essence, and then we need a Prosperity seed. Here we go. I think this is everything we'll need. So you have to supply this with a redstone signal. That's why there's a lever here set to on. Put in the seed base, and then put in 4 coal, and then 4 of the correct tier of essence. And this is what it looks like. You can see all of the stuff pouring into the center, and then at the end of it, boom, we have a seed. That's how you make coal seeds. Isn't that neat? Everybody loves it, right? Of course you do. Yeah, you do. But yeah, so then we can plant this one inside of here, just like we did the other ones. But, I don't know how you guys feel, but for me, that's enough messing with this for now. That's something that I want to come back to later. So I'm going to put this stuff in here a little bit more arrangedly, and then come back to it. Because what I really want to do today is find one of those dungeons. And I think I know where one is. So we're going to go take a look at it. And do some dungeon crawl. Because that's the actual name of the other mod, is dungeon crawl. Put up that. Our gem bag, our flower pouch, our wireless crafting thing. We're not going to need that out there. Then we'll pull out our crossbow and some arrows. And we'll take our table with us. Just in case. And then I'll pull up my journey map. Which I don't know why it's showing me the splash screen again, like I haven't already looked at it. And then, where is it? I want just the Dimension Overworld. I guess, honestly, I could delete those. Although, now I want to see what's there now that it's gone. So where is that one located at? Center of the forest. Midnight Nearest. Now let's go take a look at what was there. Pretty sure it's just going to be like either blank terrain or a big gap or something. Or it might crash us. Gosh, I hope it doesn't crash us. Yep, just a big hole. Where there used to be an island, and now there isn't. That's a lot better than it used to be. It used to be in older versions of Minecraft, when you would remove something from the world like that, it just meant that if you come over here, like, it would crash your world. Like, you'd have to use Minecraft Edit to be able to get rid of it. But since that's not there anymore, I guess any of the stuff related to the Midnight I can just go ahead and remove. So I'm not going to need it. I found a lot of stuff here, actually. Village, Midnight Entrance 2. I found a lot of them, actually. An underwater spawner city. I think I went through that. Underwater roguelike. Let's check this one out. That's only 4,000 meters away. In which direction? Alright, let's fly over there. It's a lot faster when you go as the crow flies, though, huh? Like, if I was to find this on the map where I actually found it, we would have to boat for so far away. Because, that's how I found it. Like, you saw the journey map. I just went around, like, the edges of the terrain. Oh, yeah, Cruz. I'm glad I answered your question there. Yeah, Dungeon Crawl. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the mod. The new version of Roguelike Dungeons. Because it's very similar to Roguelike Dungeons, which is an older mod from the previous editions of Minecraft. And I looked at the entry for it on CurseForge today, and the The mod creator for Dungeon Crawl is like, yeah, heavily inspired by. I love it. I owe some stuff to them. Ooh. Is this, what is this one called? Alps. Hey, this is one of the, this is one of the places that can spawn a hot spring. If hot springs exist in this version. I'm going to set a waypoint here. So I can check that out later. Because if there's hot springs there, I'm interested. Hot springs are very useful. Oh, purple beacon. Is this a vampire town? It is a vampire town. A vampire expert. You trade him human hearts for vampire blood. Do we do it? What do you guys think? Should we raid? Nah, no, we're already in a mission. We'll come back to this. I'm sure that if I actually like look in my bookmarks, that village is bookmarked. Ooh, pumpkins. How convenient. Nature's... Ooh. Did you just try to attack me? Did you dare approach me? Silly bear. It should have known better. Ah, right. We have Pam. So actually all of the trees that Pam's Harvest Craft adds we have available to us as well. So you might have to look into some of that as well, just to get the full crops rotation going. Yeah, still on our mission. Focus. Focus! Come on, me. It's so easy to get distracted. There's so much stuff to look at. And some of this is undiscovered territory for me. Like, you can see it loading in on my mini-map over there. So, like, I haven't been here, so... Ooh, this is a pretty area. This has got lots of greenery. I like that color. Maple leaves. This is a good mix. Right on the edge of spruce forest? Is that what this is? Giant tree taiga. That's the name of this biome. Oh, it's struggling to load that new terrain a little bit. Come on, computer. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. It is actually, it's struggling hard. It kind of paused on me here. I'll have to wait for it to respawn. It is not liking to load whatever it was trying to load. I don't want to think that it crashed, but it normally does not hang for this long. Might have to reload it. I gotta give it like a few more seconds. It's got until we reach 55 minutes of stream time. And I'm gonna have to try to reload it. which is roughly 20 seconds away, for anybody that was wondering. Three, two, one. Yeah, we'll have to just reload it. Close program. No, yeah, like I said, the game is it's not operating correctly, so we're gonna have to reload it. Did you lose all volume? Can you even hear me talk? So I believe you should still be able to hear me talk, even though we're reloading Minecraft. It does take a while to load this back up, though. Don't worry about it. I mean, really, if anybody should be apologizing for issues, it's me. I really hope I'm able to get back in and load this back up. If not, we might have to end the stream a little bit early while I figure out how to extricate my character. So I'm thinking about the block palette for that warehouse. We might also change out some of that structural stuff for some wood in order to make it mesh up with the other buildings that we have around there. Like the little tree house that we have, and then also the actual machine house? I can't remember what that one was called inside of the little crafted deal. But we might need to switch out some of that stuff for wood too, so we can make it blend in a little bit better. But yeah, then I think that we could introduce like some cracked bricks and maybe some mossy bricks and cobblestone, and we can really make it look like it matches up. So we should be able to make that look real nice. Checking some messages there. Very fine. Of course, even still, like, I'm getting some enjoyment out of this music. I cannot give enough love to Techno Axe. Everybody should check out that channel. So one more loading screen to load up the actual world, and then we should be in and hopefully able to move around. Take your time, game. From forced close to right now, it's been exactly 5 minutes. That is a long time to get a game loaded. That's why I always have this loaded before we start streaming normally. So I know nobody wants to sit through that at the beginning of everything. Of course, I'm also usually like already doing something in the world before I start loading up the stream. Because like I'm testing something out or I'm getting some materials ready or something like that. Although it's getting a lot easier to just jump right in now. With all of the different ways that we have of storing materials and also pulling stuff like out of our Project E transmutation table and all that stuff. It's getting a lot easier to just jump right into whatever plan I have. Come on, you say 100% load. Joining world. I do hope it's not hanging here. So I don't think that this step normally takes a very long amount of time. Ooh, we're back here. And that iron golem was having none of that vampire's crap. I guess they don't register the vampires as actual villagers. So I mean, like, okay, we can sail over there again. If it doesn't work this time, though, that's just gonna have to be a call on that, because I don't want to reload it again. And then I'll try to figure it out on my own time, what's actually causing the hang up. Also, let's give a little bit. It was like within 700 or so. We were definitely past this. We were into a spruce forest, I think. And that's like where it hang up. But over here was the pumpkins. Right? The pumpkins were around here. Well, here's one anyways. So I wanted to collect those again for sure. I guess the new terrain generation didn't do as many pumpkins this time as it did the first time. That's fine. Also, we didn't have to murder that helpless bear. What? What? This dude's trying to play some pipes at me? And summon rats? Ooh. Well, that's kind of loud and I don't like it, so we're gonna move on very quickly here. Ooh. Hello. What are you? You're like a Hulk zombie. A mutant zombie. Well, ooh, and you can Oh, and there's a giant creeper too. That will... Oh, is it throwing creepers at me? Get out of here, bear. What are you doing? I killed that. Okay. Okay, so I guess I killed the giant creeper too. Is the zombie getting back up? It is. Okay, apparently you can't kill the mutant zombie. Or at least it doesn't look like I can. Oh, no, there you go. You just have to kill it, like, a lot. And I got a Hulk hammer. Huh. Well, that's something I've never encountered before. I had not encountered up to this point. Alright, when we get to the giant spruce over here, I'm going to force a save, so at least we'll be able to keep everything that we've done so far. Right here. Oh, am I going to have to enable that, like... Am I going to have to enable cheats just to tell it to save? I think so. Did it not actually enable cheats? Yeah, it didn't. Like, that's all the stuff that's available. I should be able to save and all that jazz, and it's just showing up as an unknown command. Well, here we go. Yeah, that's almost within the exact same distance, and it froze up again. So I guess the dungeon crawl dungeons that I've already explored are causing my game to crash. So if that's the case, this is something we'll just have to come back to. I'll either have to find another one, or I'll have to, I don't know, edit those out of the world or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, we're gonna have to stop the stream there because I don't want to keep on messing with that, and that was the plan that I had for the last like 45 minutes to whatever. So, hey, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please come back for more. There's a lot more coming. This pack will last me a while, I think. Let me know if there's something specific that you want me to look at. There's plenty of stuff. Like, you can go and look on the Twitch launcher or on CurseForge, the website, to look at the mod pack. So you can look at all the mods that are in it. And if you see something in there that kind of excites you, or you want me to check out for you / with you, then please, you know, give me a shout out. You can find me on Facebook, on Twitter. Also, this video will go up on YouTube as well, so you can see that too. So, hey, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.